Hello everybody, a very, very good afternoon and welcome back to another live stream here today. We are live on my own YouTube channel, we're live on Forex, we're live on Atmos, we're live on X. It's very good to have you all here and I hope everyone has had a good trading day so far, had a good weekend. We're heading back into some crazy looking markets, to be honest. I had a look at some of the events we've got coming out this week. There's not much in terms of what we've got scheduled, but in terms of the news that we've had out, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to cover today, and hopefully we're going to be able to break this down for you in a very, very simple manner. If you are around today, feel free to pop up and say hello on the channel. I will get round to saying hello to as many people as I can. It's good to see the chat very active this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are watching from. Of course, today we'll be doing another live giveaway, but the rules have slightly changed. We've made it a lot easier for you, essentially. Previously, you know, we had the comment win and you'll be entered into a live draw. I just want to address this straight away because it's probably the easiest thing to do. We've changed that a little bit because what was happening was we're getting, spam comments with win, and it's very hard for me to actually keep up with the chat. I think it was like 2,000 messages in the previous live stream. So no one wants that. So we've made it a lot easier. Basically, what you got to do is check the description in the YouTube link. But essentially, all you got to do is turn up and engage in the chat section. Yeah, the more real engagement that you get, if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, those sorts of things, that's going to mean double the chance to win. So anytime someone comments once in the live chat, that's going to add you into my random live draw, which I will draw at the end of the stream. Okay, and at the end of the stream, I'll comment on Discord. I'll announce the winners, and all you've got to do is message me with your YouTube proof of your YouTube account. Now, last time as well, we did have some people trying to fake the accounts. I suppose it's pretty standard with giveaways. We can tell who's got the legitimate account and who hasn't, and those people that are doing that are banned from winning the giveaways in the future. So don't do that if you don't mind. It makes my job a lot harder. Anyway, hopefully that clears things up. So if there's any changes, look, you can join the giveaway. You can see the little bit down here on this right hand side. Again, check the description for clear up on the rules. If you have any questions, then feel free to get in touch. Madink basically says that, what about people that talk too much but are not like robots? Yeah, that's essentially what you're going to be driven by. So the bot that I have in the background that does the draw, if it's just people commenting this, like spamming and not actually engaging properly, if it's people asking questions, people asking legitimate things, that's going to be the sort of thing that adds to your double chance to win, along with being a subscriber to the YouTube channel. Okay, hope that makes sense. Anyways, hello, it's good to see you all on the YouTube chat. I'll try and scroll up and say hello to as many people as we can. Just had some people coming through now. Benedict, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining in. Bro, why not Forex? You're going live on, you banned from there. No, I'm live on all the channels. I'm live on Forex. I'm live on Atmos. I'm live on my personal as well. But yeah, hello. I'm trying to develop my own EA, but I don't know where to start. I already have the ideas and strategies behind my EA, but I have zero knowledge in coding it. Drop me a message privately, and I'll get you in touch with the right person on how we can do that. I'm actually looking at launching my own service via Everything Trading. Nothing's confirmed yet, where people can have a strategy. They bring that strategy to me and my coder, and we basically backtest it for you for a charge. Of course, I'm not going to do it for free, but so we'll backtest the strategy for you. And if it's the results that you're looking for, we can also develop that into an EA for you. So that's a service that I'm looking at doing, whether it's on the side or whether it's part of my mentorship on Everything Trading. Hopefully we can do that for you. So just drop me a message privately, and I'll be able to help you with that. What's my view on gold? I'll take a look at the markets. No problem. We've got a lot to talk through. The way this stream's going to work is basically I'm going to go through the top events of this week. This is my weekly preview stream. We're going to talk about the news we've had over the weekend. I know some of you probably already know about that. But we're going to talk about that in some detail because it's causing a lot of market moves. It is a US public holiday today, but that's not stopping the moves we're seeing in the markets at the moment. Who else have we got? Elon Musk, hello to you. The tariff war, yes, exactly that. Just reading through some of the chat now. Sorry if I can't keep up. Saint616, greetings from LATAM. Hello to you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not sure what time it is over there, but I imagine it's either pretty early or pretty late. So thank you very much for tuning in at that time. Gertrude FX, hello to you. Dude, Trump needs to chill and Europe is in deep trouble. Russia's playing their cards right. Yes, potentially. You can, to answer your question, Combat Center, MMA, which live stream should we join to win any work? Okay. It doesn't matter what, because I'm multi-streaming out to different platforms. Any of the live streams platforms will work, whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, any of the ones that I've got hooked up now to my streaming software will add you into the live draw. So don't worry about where you're streaming from today. So yeah. Pro Trader 2809, good to see you after a long time. Been following you during the London session earlier. Thank you very much. Oh, after the London event last year. It's good to see you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good event over there, prop trading show. I believe that's what you're talking about. eBay Pioneer, hello to you. Good to see you. Mohammed, gold is so crazy today. Yeah, big gaps higher in gold. We'll take a look at that. Kenzie, hello to you. Laura, good to see you, Laura. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a while since I've seen you on the streams. Treehawk, hello to you. Commented on our Discord channel the other day, this morning, didn't you, about the fundamentals. Good to see you, Treehawk. Thank you very much. Zahid, welcome to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Daniel, good to see you, and everyone else who's joined. Sorry if I've missed anybody out, but we do have a lot to talk about today. Azus on Twitter, on X, as we call it. Thank you, sir, for your information. You are welcome. How much will you charge for the strategy? eBay, we'll see. I'm not sure yet. It's not been finalised, but I certainly won't be doing what you see other course sellers do online, which is charging thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars for something you can find online for free. I won't be doing that, I can assure you. It's going to be a very, very fair and reasonable price. Omar Cryptos, hello to you, one of our winners from the last time. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Nasir, don't comment win as a yeah, we're going to get some people still commenting win, but it will die out like over the next few weeks as we're still streaming. Curtin, hello to you. Curtin just got back from the USA and just joined the stream. Fantastic. Hope the USA was good. Whereabouts did you go? Always, it's one of the only countries or main areas that I've never been to in the world, and I'd love to go to that. Potentially could be going there this year though, and I won't say any more on that. Comment valid thoughts about Atmos. We're going to talk about the prop industry today as well, because there's been some big news on one of the firms that maybe you are aware of who are now shutting down, which is exposing some of the risk in the prop industry, and I want to talk about that in some detail. Lana, hello to you. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're doing well. We've got Nikhil on the chat as well. Are you in here or the Forex chat? I'm in all of them. Okay. NQ, hello to you. Just joined in from Nigeria. Hello to you from Nigeria. I hope you're doing well. Azus, we've just had the weekly gap, opening gap in gold. Yes, indeed. There's no bots on the live streams, guys. I don't know why people are saying that. There is no bots. Combat, hello. Thanks for the Discord help. Got sharing my vibe code. Yeah, good stuff. And you're doing great with the account. Good to see you. Yes, funding pips indeed. Gertrude, yes indeed. Curtin went to Nashville, sang a few songs. Oh, Curtin, I have to get you on the stream, mate. You have to give everyone in the audience a nice sing along for us. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Probably better than listening to me all the time. Anyway, right, let's get straight into it then in terms of what it is that's important this week in terms of news events scheduled, first of all, which is always something I do as a trader every Sunday or every Monday as I gear up to prepare my trading week. We always need to look at what are the main events we've got coming out. So, as you can see, not an extensive list of high impact news, but important news nevertheless. We've got the main ones that we need to take a look at really are UK CPI. For those who are trading the pound in particular, pound dollar traders, any cable traders out there, we've got CPI coming out this week. We're expecting inflation to tick slightly higher in the UK, but I think this is all going to be overridden by the elephant in the room, which is, of course, Trump versus Europe now, Trump versus the world. We do then, as we go into the next day, ironically have President Trump speaking in Davos at the World Economic Forum, which is important for one reason and one reason only, which is the news that we had over the weekend, which we'll talk about in literally 1 minute's time. And I'll give you my view on it. Then after that, we've got the US on Thursday. We've got the US Core PCE Price Index. That is the Federal Reserve's primary gauge of inflation in an economy, in their economy. So that should be an interesting one to see if the Core PCE index is falling like the Core CPI index is, because that would reaffirm the fact that inflation is now reaching its 2% target, should we say. And then towards the end of the week, we've got a Bank of Japan interest rate decision. So, there's been a lot of political change in Japan. And, we're expecting the Bank of Japan to hold rates where they are, which will be no surprise. But what will cause the markets to move will be the press conference and the outlook report that we see after that decision. So I'll make sure I can break that down. And if there's anything that, is important and is different to what we've seen previously, then I'll make sure that I can let you know on that. Hello to you, Theo. Good to see you. Pro Trader, hello to you. Happening week starting in tomorrow with loaded news, lots of data. The Dash, hello to you. Glad to catch the live stream today. Let's go. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you for joining today. Okay. That elephant in the room that we had over the weekend, which has basically caused, let's say all of the moves that we see in the markets today, is basically what's happened over in the US versus Europe in terms of tariffs and Greenland, etc. So let's just break it down in terms of what it is that's actually happening. So writing on social media, as Donald Trump does, he said on Saturday that he would impose tariffs on the UK, Denmark, and other European countries. Basically anyone who supports Greenland with the situation that's going on, he will impose a 10% tariff on them. So let's just read exactly what it is. From the 1st of February 2026, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland will be charged a 10% tariff on any and all goods sent to the US, with the tariff raised to 25% on the 1st of June. I mean, are we surprised, to be honest? No. Obviously, we've seen a knee-jerk reaction in the markets, and I'll show you that knee-jerk reaction in a second. The new import taxes will be due and payable until such a time as a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Trump wants to buy Greenland. Trump says the US has subsidized Denmark, the EU, and others for many years, and says it's time for Denmark to give back. World peace is at stake. China and Russia want Greenland, and there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, he says, adding no one other than the US can play in this game. So he's certainly throwing his weight about, that's for sure. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, and the UK, Netherlands, and Finland have journeyed to Greenland for purposes unknown and are playing a very dangerous game. Strong measures must be taken so this potentially perilous situation ends quickly and without question. He also refers to the Golden Dome defense system, which he says can only work at its maximum potential and efficiency if this land is included in it. As you can imagine, that's quite a shock to the markets. We're talking about the US and Europe, particularly UK, because that was quite the big one, because considering they're such close allies. He'd done the same thing with Canada, to be fair, and that is imposing tariffs on those countries. Now, I'm not here to get into a political debate about the reasons behind it, etc., and whether he's wrong, right, or what he's doing is unethical, ethical. I'm talking about it purely from a markets perspective, and this is shades of what we saw not too far away this time last year when tariffs were introduced. What did we see when those tariffs were introduced this time last year? And I mentioned this on the stream last week. We saw the dollar fall, despite people saying, the dollar will rise because it's inflationary. Tariffs are inflationary, but the nature and the way in which Trump is imposing these tariffs are causing a massive, risk-off play, essentially, right? And it's causing a credibility issue in the US in terms of with Trump being so unpredictable as an investor, why would we want to invest in the US? That's what this caused this time last year. Gold spiked, stock markets fell, dollar fell, right? When you fast forward to now, and we had that news over the weekend, look what happened to the markets. It's a rinse and repeat. The S&P 500, if I just zoom this out a little bit, is down 1%. The Nasdaq is down 1.5%. The US 30 is down 0.8%. This is a US public holiday, by the way, when volumes are meant to be low. Gold is up 1.6%. The dollar is down 0.25%. It's the same moves that we saw previously. Now, what does that mean for now, though? If you want my opinion on it, it's always a. We always like to sort of sell the rumor by the fact, sort of thing, right? So this is just a rumor at the moment. Those tariffs aren't imposed. Is it something he actually will impose, or is it something which, you know, is just to try and get him to buy Greenland, and it's just a threat? At the moment, I think the markets are thinking, well, Trump is probably going to do what he says, right? We saw that with the other tariffs, even though they were unwinded eventually in some capacity. So I think there is a risk here that, you know, there has been an initial knee-jerk reaction in this, and so we have to be careful. But overall, I would say that this is perfect again for gold upside. And I think this puts doubt into what we saw in the dollar index, which is where we saw the dollar index rising. And I was a big advocate of that last week. But now we're seeing that being reversed as well. And I think that could continue into this week because, as this article quite rightly says, because Europe claim they've got a trade bazooka, which basically means we're going to retaliate really, really hard. Trump's got tariffs, Europe's got a trade bazooka. This Greenland standoff could get ugly fast, right? And if this gets ugly fast, this means more dollar downside, this means more gold upside, and this means a real risk to a steep, sharp correction in the stock market if this materializes. So this is a story in which is more important than anything really that comes out this week, and is something in which, you know, all traders should be taking particular care around, and also in their trading in general should be taking particular care. Volume's very low today. Yes, indeed. Trust the plan, says Hamza Kafi. Yes, indeed. Trust your plan. You know, we're used to navigating these markets now with Trump. Sometimes it can be quite difficult, but you have to trust your plan, trust your edge, and trust your strategy in order to do this. Gold is not green. Our Atmos is green for traders. Combat Center says, yesterday Bitcoin fall was diabolical. All my positions hit stop loss in minutes, and I've been holding for almost a week. Look, it's one of those things as day traders, investors, in which you can't plan for. You can't plan for Trump to come out and do this. Who knows that he's going to come out and do that? You know, it's an impossible situation. Anyone who tells you in which, oh, this was so predictable, is lying to you. Zia52000, good to see you on the live stream. Thank you very much. Grant, hello to you. Good to see you. Trump loves making issues. He will claim that he's solving issues, but we need to break the system before you fix it, I suppose, is his philosophy. It is astonishing times. It's times that we've not really seen that much. Very unpredictable, Trump, and sometimes very, very difficult to trade itself. Fake Panda believes that this is just a threat. Now, if Fake Panda is correct and this is just a threat, then we will see the dollar index continue, its run higher. The stock market will shrug this off. And gold will be gold, but certainly that will be the case for the other markets anyway. Kenzie, hello. Don't all of these news play out into technical analysis on the chart? Yeah, the way in which that you trade these sorts of things is you analyze the fundamental case, like I've just done there, and we say, okay, if this materializes, this could result in X, Y, Z, yeah? i.e. stock market down, dollar down, gold up. Now, can we go onto the charts and can we match up technical analysis with this fundamental story? And that's how you start to mix the fundamentals with the technicals, okay? So you're trying to get both elements of your trading pointed in the same direction. Another trade war with NATO and Trump focusing on them to buy Greenland. The market is crashing badly. Stay away. Or trade only gold and silver. That's a big call. Azus Riyad thinks that we're going to see a big drop in the stock market, potentially. We'll take a look at the charts and have a look at some technical analysis, I promise you, and have a look at some trade ideas. I am currently long on gold as well. I'd like to show you that. Joseph, hello. Always learn something new from your live streams, Connor. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Grant says, I'm fairly new, but it just seems difficult. It is. It is difficult. And to be honest, this sort of thing is difficult for any trader, professional or not, because some things like this that are so unpredictable, you got to muddle your way through as best as you can at the end of the day. And the most important thing is that when we're in unpredictable times, it's just to just scale back the risk a little bit, or just tweak things where maybe come out the trade, like put your stop loss to entry that a little bit earlier, just to protect yourself from random news. Don't hold trades over the weekend, that sort of thing, because you wake up and your count could be blown, or worse. If you've held trades over the weekend in these times, I never do that in these times. Those sorts of things, just things to protect yourself. The OG day 7. Yep, Trump is so unpredictable. Um, Kurtjan says, in situations like this, would I switch my bots off my EAs? No. As I said, I trust the process. I trust the strategy. Um, is it a little bit more? Excuse me. Is it a little bit harder to follow? Yes, to be honest, it can be a little bit more challenging mentally to trade during these times. But if you're strong mentally and you've got your psychology in check, then you should always, I think, execute your plan even during these times, because volatility is opportunity. You have to remember that. But volatility has to be managed, extra carefully in order to benefit from that. So if you're recklessly trading highly volatile markets, then you're setting yourself up to lose. But if you know how to use volatility in the right way, and you can think with a clear mind and think through the noise, then you can trade freely in terms of how you execute your strategy. Lots of comments on here. Sorry, it's hard to keep up. Anyway, obviously, Starmer has responded to that. I listened to Keir Starmer. I listened to what he had to say in response to the Trump tariff situation today, but I didn't really get much from it other than the fact that, it was like, please don't put tariffs on us. We're meant to be allies. That's pretty much all I heard from it. So I didn't really take too much from it, to be honest with you. So yeah, let's just go on to the markets now. I want to show you current trade that I'm in at the moment as a result. Well, not actually as a result. It's as a result of my EA, to be honest with you. But I'm currently live and active on a gold long position. I was stopped out on one of my gold longs. You can see here. Here it is. I was stopped out here. As per my EA, it is what it is. Yes, you could argue, it just about hit my stop loss and went up high. Okay, no worries. My EA found another opportunity up at 4666. Currently running 0.6% in profit. This strategy has taken a little bit of a loss over the last couple of weeks, about minus 5% on my funded account. So no problem there. I know that that's part of the drawdown. So yeah, currently in this trade at the moment. Also currently live on. I don't like this trade. Obviously, I don't like it because it's in drawdown. But I'm live on a short opportunity on the German stock index, as per my EA as well. Look at the gap in the market. This is the gaps that we saw over the weekend with the news, obviously, because it's a risk-off play. So we're seeing the lower stock market. So I'm currently short at the moment on the German stock index. Not the end of the world. When I was on the stream last time, I won 2% on that trade. This is the first trade back, and it's down 0.6% at the moment. Should my stop loss get triggered at 25.068, that will tag me into a long position in the opposite direction. So if that does happen, I shall let you know. And on my index blitz, which is my S&P 500, I had one trade that placed today, which I didn't even know about. That looks like a loser here. So we've had one trade placed there, minus 1%. So tricky Monday. So I've had one lost trade, 1%. One trade's up 0.6, one trade's down 0.6, and the other strategy, I've got one trade which has lost 1%. However, we have only really just opened up the US market, so hopefully we can turn that around in this week. It's just the start of the week, so yeah, pretty normal. Okay. Are EA bots allowed on Atmos? Yes, they are allowed on Atmos as long as, excuse me, as long as you as long as it's not a commercially bought EA. So if you develop the EA system yourself and it doesn't, breach, high frequency trading rules and hedging rules and all that sort of stuff, and it's a genuine strategy that you use your EA for, then yes, you can use an EA. Seems like a lot of people have struggled to trade today. Merperex 786, how are the market's going to behave towards escalating conflicts in the Middle East and Russia-Ukraine war with China-USA tension? It's all one big formula for risk-off trading, to be honest with you. So what you said in terms of Russia, Ukraine, and conflicts in the Middle East, particularly like, for example, the conflict. Would you say conflict between like Venezuela, which happened over the last couple of weeks? That was more oil based. Why? Because Venezuela's saying economically irrelevant in terms of like the global economy, in terms of market movement. So really, it was just focused on oil. But obviously now we're talking about US and Europe, which obviously is a huge portion of global economy. So that has direct impact on other markets as well. And the China and the Russia and Ukraine stuff and the China US stuff probably already priced in to the moves that we saw last year with gold upside, etc. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that unless things go further, of course. Unless we're talking about World War III or something like that. What's better, manual or EA trading? Good question. Depends on the person, really. I'm someone who, come on, gold. Let's get a good trade on gold, guys. Come on, take profit up at 4688. Let's see how this goes. Is manual better than EA? I think EA is better than manual, but only if you've got like a real solid set of data that you've back tested on that EA. If you've got a sophisticated EA, which basically means it's been coded professionally, you fixed all the bugs, you've done all the testing and stuff, yes, then EAs can be beneficial for me anyway. And also, I'm someone who spends a lot of time recording content or going to events and stuff like that. So sometimes I found it was quite difficult to trade manually, how I used to anyway, which is why I developed systems on my edges. So I think trading manually at first is quite important because you need to get a feel for following rules manually. You need to get a feel for how it feels to be in the markets. And also you need to find the right formula to develop your strategy, which you can build an EA from, So that's very, very important as well. FOMO is real. Games Club 786, Connor Woods has a really great personality. I've not heard that one before. Thank you. Drop us your AI. Let's try it. Nice try. Very, very nice try. I like that. Is ICT and SMC a good concept for the future? Now, this is my argument, really, because I'm trying to develop an SMC EA. It's in development. The problem that I found with SMC and ICT concepts is they're great concepts, don't get me wrong, and they've been marketed very, very well because every man and his dog's trading those concepts on X and wherever you see. Everyone's, smashing FVGs and order blocks and liquidity sweeps and all that. But they're just concepts. They work some of the time. They don't work some of the time. My problem with SMC is that there's been a cult that's been developed behind the scenes in which now people are like, if you don't trade SMC, you're not a good trader. That's not true. I don't know too many institutional professional traders that trade SMC. Right, it's just repackaged concepts from previously. Right, let's just put that out there. And also, SMC requires a degree of subjectivity, which basically means there's more opinion that's needed in it. An indicator, yes, it's lagging or whatever, but an indicator will tell you X. SMC can be interpreted in many different ways from the same person, so it becomes quite difficult to try and formulate a real solid mechanical back-tested strategy. That doesn't mean you can't make money from SMC, because I have, and I still trade it to this day. The way I do it is my manual approach to trading. I use SMC concepts and fundamental analysis, and my automated way of trading, I would use mechanical, indicator based strategies. And to be honest, I've had more payouts from the mechanical indicator based. Just saying. Elon Musk says, "Do I usually wait for a calmer market or just enter this madness volatility?" I just enter it. To be honest, I haven't switched off the bot today. I have no emotional connection with losing my prop firm account or losing my prop firm challenge. If I've made a certain profit from a prop firm, whether like, for example, on an account I've had 10k in payouts, let's say, well, my $500 investment, I'll just reinvest some of that 10k that I made over the last 4 or 5 months, and I'll just buy another challenge. So if my strategies lose, which they will, if they lose 10% and I'll get kicked off of the account, well, so what? I'll just buy another one and just let it go again. So yeah, I don't really turn it off unless like it's like public like Christmas holidays and stuff like that, where like the markets don't move or you can get big gaps. My target on gold, is 4690. We've had a lot more messages coming through. Yeah, it's possible to turn your manual strategy into an EA, definitely. Kenzie, do you have a free signals channel? No, I don't, but you can join the Discord channel. I do post trade ideas in there. Check the description below. Come and join our free Discord channel. And I will have signals out when the mentorship is out, which is very, very soon, hopefully. I've just finished recording all of the course. It's in edit as we speak. Apologies if I've missed your question, guys. It's impossible to answer it all. I'm not going to give my EA away. I'm not going to give my EA away for free. I do apologise. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. If I was giving it away for free, what would be the point in that? If I'm making money trading on my EA, why would I give it away? That's why I have a problem with people that would sell their EA. If you're making money from it, why do you need to sell it? I'll bring it into the academy. People can access the trades that come from the EA, but I'm not giving the EA away that I've spent hours working on, But you will be able to benefit from it if you wish in some way as the academy comes, because obviously my job is to be an analyst / mentor / education guy. So I will bring it in. So how much? Yeah, no, I get. Thank you, Nasir. Appreciate it. Right then, there was just something else I wanted to talk about today whilst we let the trades play out. It's not really doing much, is it? I know it is a US holiday, so shouldn't be don't be too concerned. Is that we have high tech, big tech earnings coming out over the next week or so. So it kicks off tomorrow after the bell. We have Netflix earnings. So for those NASDAQ traders out there, NASDAQ futures, all that sort of stuff, if you're trading those indices or those stocks, please make sure you're keeping an eye on what the earnings reports are for these big firms, because next week is like the biggest lot. We have all the big guns like Amazon and all that sort of stuff, but this week it's just Netflix. So if you're trading Netflix stock, then make sure you take a look at that. A lot of people saying that they're having a bad day, stop loss day. I've noticed that as well. It's been quite difficult conditions. Well, my EAs have one trade's lost 1%. Like one strategy's lost 1%. Another strategy's lost 1%, but is in a winning trade, the gold one. And my DAX trade, to be honest, is on its way to stop loss as we speak. So yeah, maybe it's similar for me. It happens, guys. For someone who just said in the chat there, what's my risk reward and what's my win rate? My win rate's like between 35 and 40%. Hang on, I've got the TV's turning off. My win rate is something like 35%, let's say, or 40% maximum. And my risk reward's 3-1 or 4-1, depending on the strategy. So it's in that range. So when you actually think about that, I lose 60% of the time. And when you actually think about how that feels, it's not nice when you constantly, you're losing, it's not constantly, you're losing on average 60% of the time every time you place a trade. If you place 10 trades on average, you'd lose six grand, 6,000 on a 100k account. It's not a nice feeling, but you've got to think about the long term. You've got to think about how that strategy plays out over the long term. In fact, the strategy at some point will go loss, win, loss, and I'll potentially go 15% in drawdown. The strategies that I've got, some of them might have 22% max drawdown over the last 5 years, which means that at some point in that 5 years, the strategy lost 22%. But overall, it made 600% in 5 years. People really struggle to understand that drawdown is literally just part of the game. And if you can't adapt, if you can't accept the fact that you're going to lose trades, and you can't accept the fact that you're potentially going to lose more trades than you win, which is very likely, especially with 2, 3, 4 to 1 risk reward trades, then you're not built to be a trader. Well said, Sunday. Well said. Okay, right. The other news in the industry, let's just take a quick break from talking about markets and talk about the industry, the prop industry as a whole. Woke up to some news this morning regarding funding ticks. And I'm not here to throw shade on any company. I have no idea who owns this company. It's not probably a nice thing for people to lose their business. So I'm not going to be here to slag anyone off or anything like that. I just it's just news in the industry, which I was that I'm interested in, is that Funding Ticks has decided to wind down its operations, pretty much close. And to be fair, unlike my Forex funds, they are giving refunds and giving out some the live accounts that are in profit. They're giving them the 90% reward split and stuff like that. So fair play to them on that regard. Our support team will remain available until January the 31st. So interesting to see that happening, and I don't think it's going to be the last time we see it in this industry, to be honest with you. And for those of you who follow what I do and who I represent, Atmos Funded by Torex, it's another piece of evidence to suggest that firms that aren't broker backed are more likely to shut down operations, deny payouts, not have the required reserves in the bank to be able to pay out their traders. So obviously something's gone wrong with Funding Ticks in terms of maybe how much money they have on the side to pay out traders. I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs of the reasons and don't really care in that regard. But it's just another sign to me that in this prop industry, which is now we're seeing prop firms opening up like that, if you see prop firms that are giving away accounts for like $3, you have to say to yourself, how likely is it that firm's going to stick around, and how likely is it that at some point that firm's going to turn around and say to you, sorry, we're not paying out anymore. We gave away too many challenges for $1, and now we ain't got enough to pay you out. That's pretty much what they say in a professional way, right? Firms that are broker backed, and I'm not even necessarily just talking about Atmos Funded that are backed by Torex, right? I'm talking about just even me as a prop trader. I'm not allowed to open an account with Atmos Funded. I'm employed by them, but I trade props. I trade with other prop firms that are broker backed, and I would never, now after all this that comes out, I would never go with a firm that isn't backed by a regulated broker. Not because necessarily that firm won't ever shut down or there's not ever any issues, because the broker might be rubbish. But you have to think of the probability. Why would I'm happy to pay $200 more for a challenge with X firm that's broker backed, then go with a firm that's not broker backed, but pay $200 less for a challenge, but probably at some point in the next year or two, I'm either going to get some rubbish email about why my payout's not been approved, or even worse, the prop firm shuts down. You know what I mean? So I do apologise to anyone who's been affected by that. Do I think that funding pips are next? No idea. I don't have any insight into that, unfortunately. My focus is on Atmos funded, and I'm telling you, we're here to stay. So we're all good. Yeah, Atmos funded is broker backed. Someone said in there, Atmos funding takes too long to process a live account and pay out. Yeah, you've got to remember this is something that our team will work on in the background as well. I'm not coming here and saying that, I wasn't using this as an advocate for Atmos funded. I was just saying it's an advocate for broker backed firms. But if you are having issues with any of your payouts on your process your live accounts, our support team they are responsive. They will be on the case for you, and they will be able to help you out on that. But I'm sorry you're having that experience. If you reach out to support, I'm sure they'll be able to help you. Anything happen in the markets in the meantime? Come on. Oh, gold's back down to entry. Okay, that's all right. I'm not getting too much luck from the DAX strategy either. If you are looking to open a prop firm, you can scan the QR code down here. If you see it, where is it? There. I always struggle today. If you scan the QR code here, you can get access to my social media accounts, which I will, you can see all the daily content that I'm posting, shorts from the streams, event content, vlog content, all that sort of stuff. And you'll be able to access the current promotion that we've got live on Atmos Funded, which is 20% off of two-step, 10% off one-step challenges and instant funding challenges or whatever it is. If you go onto the QR code and you click on the Atmos promotion, then you'll be able to access the discount. I believe if you use code Connor, you get discounts as well. This live stream is quality for real. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. Is this a good time for me to enter? What gold? Let's have a look. To be fair, it has just filled. In fairness, it has just filled this fair value gap. It's in here. See that fair value gap? Did we break any structure from that? Not quite. If you look at the market itself, it is ranging. We do need a bit more of a convincing breakout first. But, as per my EA, we're still hovering 0.4% in profit. So it's not too bad. If you're not in a trade, yeah, and you want to wait until the market's open again tomorrow, I wouldn't blame you for doing that, to be fair. It probably is a lot cleaner. It's no surprise that people are getting a lot of stop losses, and we are on a public holiday in the US. Gold isn't really moving that much at all after the gap over the weekend, so there's no real surprise there. No worries, Jane. Thank you very much. Okay, just reading. Any more questions that anyone's got? Any other questions that I can ask? Have I missed any? I've probably missed a few, but I can only answer what I see, and the chat goes quite quickly. So let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover. Remember, live stream as well. After the live stream, I will be announcing the winners of the giveaway. It won't take me long. I'll run the live draw after the stream finishes, and I'll just put the winners in straight away. Manoj, thank you very much for the nice comment. Elon Musk, gold is ranging between 4650, 4695. There's no significant movement today in the US market. No, you're not right. Combat, in the academy, will I give advanced strategy? Yes, I will. That will be part of the mentorship. I will be giving away the advanced strategies. Do I trade futures as well? A little bit. I'm not a huge futures trader. I've made my strategies on CFD markets, but I am looking at futures markets as well and looking to start that as well. And I know all about it essentially, but I haven't really needed to start futures just yet. Analyze Bitcoin. Yeah, no problem. I'll have a look at Bitcoin for you. I am giving away an extra 10k account, by the way, for the inconvenience of last week whilst I was setting up the software. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, shall we? Sorry, guys. Let me just put it on. Crypto, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. On the daily time frame first, I just want to see what we're looking at in terms of the overall picture. So just give me a second whilst I just see what I see initially. Not the best trend line in the world, is it? But break. Okay, zoom in a bit more. I have to say, it looks bearish to me. Just wondering if we're forming a head and shoulders here. Can I draw that? Where is it? Head and shoulders. So we've got shoulder, left shoulder, head. This is a daily head and shoulders. Is the right shoulder here, maybe? Do we get something that looks like this? So I think that then puts this level, real importance, around this 83,000. I don't think it could have, like, in terms of confirmation of a longer term fall, should we get like any advances in what's happening over with what's happening in the US and stuff, we may see something like that on higher time frames. That's something to bear in mind. If you drop down onto the lower time frames though, in terms of intraday opportunities, just looks to me like we're not doing a great deal, to be honest. We're just sort of bouncing between 86 and 90. Everything here is balanced. Don't see anything on the 1 hour, 4 hour. There's some imbalance in here, or some FEGs in here. Everything in here is balanced. So I think what we could see, wouldn't mind seeing a fall down into the 91.5. I'd like to see the reaction from this, because the reason I say that is on the 4 hour, this is like the last piece of imbalance or FEG that we see, all the way down until like the low 80s. So if price comes to balance in here, 91.5, could we see something like that? That could be something that we could look for in gold, in Bitcoin, sorry. Sir Prosperism, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Tani Kuzmego, hello to you. Take care. We need to keep showing up. Yes, I will keep showing up. Don't worry. When this stream ends, I'm going to schedule the next live stream, which will be on Wednesday, okay? So my goal in 2026 is to promote Atmos if you will give me an opportunity. Sure thing. Yeah, if you want to promote Atmos, be my guest. Get in touch with the team or get in touch with me, and we can look at a partnership on that. No problem at all. You can comment, Mohammed. You can comment on any of the channels. You don't need to comment win. You just need to be active, engaging, subscribing to subscribers to the channel, that sort of thing. That will give you the criteria to be put into the double chance to win. Your trading setup is amazing. Thank you very much. Will gold dump more this week? I think if things quieten down when it comes to the the situation with Greenland and Trump, then gold could at least come and fill that gap from over the weekend. But I wouldn't sell it. No, I would never be a seller of gold. When is Atmos coming to Nigeria? Good question. I'll ask the main man in charge. The giveaway's random. It always has been, always will be. I'm not here to do anyone out of anything. The giveaway's always random. How do you manage your... Yes, Yusuf, this week will be one more stream. When the mentorship comes out, I'll be doing 4 streams per week. 2 of them will be free streams, and the other 2 will be premium advanced streams, where we literally will sit there and trade the markets together. How do I manage my psychology when things like my emotions, when my win rate is so low? It's not that low. I know people with a lower win rate than that. 40% is not too bad. How do I manage it? I manage it because I've got proof of concept, because I've seen the back-tested results. So I know that a 40% win rate is great for that strategy. So that's what I try and tell myself. If you go blind into trading and you lose 6 times out of 10, like you've got a win rate of 40% or even 30%, you lose 7 times out of 10, then you won't be able to deal with the psychology, because it just won't until you actually experience it. People will know what I mean in the chat. You won't be able to deal with it because you won't understand that is actually okay. So you'll just be thinking that you're a loser all the time. Pro Trader, finally some moves in gold. Good stuff. Thank you for a valuable live stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. CS Simplified Official. I always overtrade. Is there any recommendation for me? Yeah, I call it the 2-bullet rule. So if you trade, say 1% per trade, which is a standard, I give myself 2 bullets per day. Bullet number 1, 1%. Bullet number 2, the other 1%. 2% total. If at any point I use up my 2 bullets, or at any stage I use my 2 bullets of trading for the day, no matter what happens after that, I switch off the charts and I go and do something else. Go to the gym, or read a book, or play video games, whatever it is you want to do in your free time, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. 2-bullet rule. When both of those bullets are out the chamber, then I skip, and then I move away from the charts. According to my experience, do I think a $500 personal funded account is good, or a 100k 2-step challenge? In my opinion, a 100k 2-step challenge. I think the goal for traders should always be to use prop firms to generate profits to fund their live account. So if you're a trader of a 100k account, your goal should be to use the profits of that to build up a personal account up to 100k. Obviously 100k would be amazing, but even up to 10k, or at least 10k, to trade a personal account, in terms of how that would work. So like, I'm a 100k funded trader. I want to build profits up to fund a live account of 10k plus. Okay, good stuff. Okay, people. I think that just about wraps it up for today as we approach the end of the hour. If there are any outstanding questions, then feel free to get in touch with me. I'm active, as I said, on my social media pages. If you scan the QR code here, you can follow me on social media and reach out to me, and I will try to answer you as quickly as possible. Better than that, you can access me on the Forex and or the Atmos Discord channel. You'll see in the Atmos channel that I've got my own dedicated Connor's channel, so you can ask me any questions in there and we can chat about markets and I can share my trade ideas. I'm watching gold fall into some drawdown. It's hovering around where the entry is. It's not been the best day of trading, to be fair, and we'll come back tomorrow to see if we can improve on that, of course, but no dramas. I will also be active again live streaming on Wednesday. So should you want to catch up with me on Wednesday, then feel free to do so. And until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic trading day. See you soon, and I will announce the winners of the live stream in the Discord in roughly 10 minutes time. So I'll see you there. Thank you very much.